What is going on, everyone? It's Jaye Black here. Another video. Salute to everybody that's tuning in. I'm going to talk about Porsha Williams and basically the truth about her now being accepting of a prenup, but I don't think she was really that accepting of it when she wasn't making her own money and doing her own things. But I want to say this first. I make the video. I just want to say, I want to make this very, very clear. I make videos that I want to make. I don't necessarily make videos for my, already subscribed people for the majority of the time. I make videos for people who are probably new for the most part and may see my videos recommended. And I just want to give everyone a clear view of what I talk about. And the majority of my topics are about culture and the way culture is today. I don't talk about the news like that unless it's some celebrity stuff here and there, but sports, But for the most part, I don't talk about all the other stuff you may hear on other people's channels. I like to do my own unique thing. I'm about red pilling people to my particular interests, so to speak. So if you don't like my topics, don't comment. I really don't want to see you comment. I see people comment and they act like they have such disdain for the topic of my videos. You didn't have to comment. You could have saved yourself the energy of commenting because you only make yourself look like a moron. Okay? So I just want to let that be clear first, because some of y'all comment and I look at these comments and I'm saying to myself, you're acting like you're angry because I did this particular topic when you should already know what I speak about. I'm not going to speak about what everybody else does. I don't care what everybody else is doing. They do what they want to do. I don't care. I don't copy other people. I do what I do. All right. There's only one me. Okay. But be that as it may, I want to talk about Porsha. She was recently on the Breakfast Club. As a matter of fact, I just saw this video clip because it was on the Revolt TV channel that I'm subscribed to on one of my channels. April 30th is when it was posted, and she was speaking on prenups and why she is in support of prenups. She may not have been in support of it when she was first married because she wants to be able to leave with something. Even though you got women who marry successful men and they have this mindset that they should just kick back and live off that man's money. You even have women on YouTube who are telling women that's the way their life should be, as if that relationship can't come to a halt. But I will say this. Women, for the most part, are so confident that if they get married, that man is not going to divorce them, that they will go into it thinking that they should just kick their feet up and be taken care of financially. You know what I'm saying? And not have their own money, not start their own business, have hobbies, do something. Okay? Because you work to keep your look up, right? So you should work to get your own money. And I think any guy who's willing to take care of a woman who does nothing for herself financially is a moron. He's an idiot. He is. And if she divorces him and take him for half of what he owns because he did not make sure that she was getting her own money, he did not have a prenup in place, that's on him. But I will say this though about the situation, the truth about it. Porsha, for the most part, the truth is basically she has her own money. And she wants to protect what she has. So she's all for a prenup now. And I think that's what the majority of these, female celebrities or women in power, for the most part. This is why Oprah has never gotten married. And I would also say this. When you got a situation with Porsha, right? Once Porsha became known and became, popular, as far as in the dating scene, she was dating numerous dudes, right? But none of those dudes gave her really any commitments. Like, she'd be in and out of relationships. And that's what a lot of women go through. No matter how a woman looks, if mentally she ain't all there, if she doesn't clearly know what she wants, if she's not with a guy who wants to settle down, you're gonna have situations where you're gonna have women who are continuous on the dating market. And when you have somebody like Porsha who's getting older, okay, she wants to have a family. She was married before, but I think that, you know, she's more settled now because she realizes that she can't continue to ride the trying to be politically correct, but Kizak carousel for so long, you know. And this is why I think that she's more ready for the idea of a prenup, because the guy that she is with is a business guy. He owns businesses, but she has her own money as well. Maybe she's making more money than him, and she looked at the situation and says, you know what, I want to protect myself. I think it's more about protecting herself than it is about protecting him, because that relationship can fall apart. You know, no matter, no, it can just fall apart. But I would say this though, because she now has a child, I think that does change things. And maybe she wants to settle down and be married, you know. But when you have a female like her and other females who have their own, they're going to look to protect it. But you know what's is very interesting is that when a man wants a prenup, women don't want to sign it. They will be offended. But if they have something to lose, they want that man to sign a prenup. You will have other women telling her she needs to get the guy that she's going to marry to sign a prenup. But when it comes to men, we're supposed to just get into marriages and not think about the financial ramifications. It's bad enough that we're going to be paying for expensive, not divorces. Well, if it doesn't work, divorce, you're going to be paying for an expensive wedding, vacation, honeymoon. Then you're going to have to look to buying a house and, you know, settling. And, you know, we as men take the brunt of the financial responsibilities, which is what men do, right? But this is 2019, people. This ain't the 60s. This ain't the 70s. Times have changed, and more women are in the workforce. More women are out here making money. You wanted equality, then you should be able to handle the fact that you may have to end up paying spousal support. It's almost like they want one-sided equality. One-sided equality doesn't work. I'm sorry, it doesn't. And there are going to be people who are in favor of Porsha getting a prenup too, because they see it as her protecting her money, protecting herself. But if that guy would have went to her and said, I want a prenup, they would have told her not to sign no prenup. Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, they don't enforce prenups. That's not in every case. There are, listen, it's up to the judge ultimately. But in most cases, people, they enforce those prenups. In most cases, there are some cases when they don't do it. And that's usually because the woman is pretty much considered to be financially destitute. That though in those circumstances, will they not enforce a prenup? If they feel like she has, let's say that she's been a homemaker throughout the marriage, she hasn't worked, she doesn't have her own money, the guy promised to take care of her. In those situations, they're going to throw that prenup out. But for the most part, they do enforce it. Unless there was some drastic change in the situation or there were circumstances that the judge just couldn't ignore. But for the most part, they do enforce it. I don't want to see any ignorant people in the comment section saying that they don't enforce them. Because if they don't enforce them, then why is Porsha and other women too, it ain't just her, other women too, saying, speaking out about being in favor of prenups? So they do work, whether you want to accept it or not. Okay. But in a lot of situations, you have men who make way more marrying women who have much less. But you don't really see rich, successful women marrying men who have way, way less than they do. You don't see it. Now, you see them in relationships, but when it comes to marriages, you don't necessarily see that. And I think Porsha is looking at her situation. She has a child now. She's with a guy who he makes money. You know, he's an entrepreneur, but you know, she is considered, well, not considered. She is a reality TV star. She does the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. I don't know if she still does it, but I know she was doing it. So she's a public figure, and she wants to protect the assets that she's been making. And there are people who are going to support her. But if it was the other way around, it would not get support. But I will say this, though. Also, you're going to see a lot more women supporting women getting prenups or signing prenups because they understand that men are not going to marry them if that man ends up having to go into a marriage without a prenup. And let's say he makes way more. You know, they know they're going to have to find some way to compromise with most men in order for that man to marry them. Now, Porsha also said that the guy that she's marrying, his name is Dennis McKinley. She says that he basically, it was his idea and she's good with it. That shows you that the lack of men marrying, that bothers women to the point to where they're willing to accept signing prenups. Now you're going to say, well, she has her own. A lot of women these days have their own. You know, most women you're going to date are going to have a job or basically a college graduate, you know? So I really think that the dynamics has changed. You got guys on social media that think that, you know, taking care of a woman and having her at home, taking care of the kids, cooking and cleaning, that is what a relationship should be. That doesn't work these days. I'm sorry. It doesn't. Because you're going to not only have to pay all the bills, you're going to have to fund her lifestyle. At least if she has her own money, she can buy things for herself. Now, if you want to take care of her as far as vacations, you know, as far as birthday, holidays, that's different. But you're going to have to, when she needs something, she's going to come to you. She's going to be in your pockets. And do you really want to be in that situation? When you know that she can go out there and go back to school or go to get her a college degree, or she can have her own job. But women would rather work a job, not having to worry about paying bills, than having to work a job and paying 50-50. You know, I think every man should want to take care of the household bills. Now, whatever she wants to do with her own money is her own money. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I think you're going to see this more. I think you're going to see more women accepting the fact that men aren't going to marry them unless the prenup is signed. So y'all let me think in the comment section below, and let me know your thoughts.